All right, hey students, I wanted to show you the table saw today. Next machine on our list of safety quizzes. Okay, so here is the table saw, SawStop table saw. Okay, it's called a SawStop table saw because it has a new technology to it. It's got a cartridge inside here and a brake that stops the blade instantaneously if it senses finger or flesh. Okay, so it would nick you, but it wouldn't cut your finger off. And I'm going to teach you how to use this machine so you never have to worry about that. It's a very safe machine when you use it right. So I'm going to get into the safety rules of that. First of all, let's talk about several parts of the machine. This is the fence. Okay, the fence could be moved to whatever width you need to cut, and we lock it down with the handle. This is the guard, okay, that keeps our fingers from the blade. We always use the guard, okay, and of course you see the blade there. And this is a splitter. It splits the part that we want from the scrap that we don't want when we cut our boards. Okay, these are anti-kickback fingers that keep the wood from coming back and getting away from us. Okay, down here is our on-off. So if we pull that, we'll see it come on, and we'll turn it off. That's what it sounds like. Right now that blade is set way too high for the wood that I need to cut. We always set our wood, the blade, a 1/4 inch above the wood that we're cutting, so we cut all the way through. Here's how you adjust that. We loosen this wheel, and then we can counterclockwise to lower, clockwise to raise it. So a 1/4 inch above our wood's about right there, and I lock it down. And now it doesn't turn, and that blade is locked into that height. Okay, here's the deal. We also have a tape measure on the machine, so you can go off of that line. If we needed to make a 3.5 inch cut, we could line up to 3.5 inches, lock it down, the fence doesn't move, and it'll cut at 3.5 inches. Okay, so that's pretty accurate. I've got a board here. I want to cut a little bit off for you. Here's the deal. If the groove in the table is showing for a wide board like I have here, we could use our hands and cut it. Okay, if it's a narrower board and the groove is not showing, let's say we got to take off a little bit off of this one, we can't use our hands because we can't keep our hands 6 inches from the machine. All of these machines, we want to keep our hands 6 inches from the blade. Okay, we talked about that on the miter saw last time. All right, so let me make a cut on this one. So if it's the groove's not showing, let's make sure I'm in my vision here. I can't tell what's happening. All right, that looks pretty good. I have to use the push sticks. Okay, I'm going to take off a little bit. It's locked down. I put the guard down. So with the push sticks, one right in front of the guard, the other one pushes it through. Here we go. Tight to the fence, and I make my cut. It's not supposed to hang up like that. I gotta raise the throat plate up. We'll push it till it drops. Okay, so that's how you cut a narrow board, and we have more safety rules to talk about, but that's a quick cut. If it's a wide board, we're going to raise this up. We've got our scrap piece in there. That blade can still cut you. It's sharp, so we want to bring it from behind here. Pull it out, and we'll put that in our scrap box. Okay? I'll have a scrap box under here. Let's cut a wide board. I want to take a little bit off of this one. I'm going to check for the most stable side. That's stable. So I'm going to take a little bit off. Got to raise my guard so I can see the blade. Take a little bit off. And I'm checking the blade height. That's more than a 1/4 inch. Let's adjust that. and lock it down. We're ready to cut. Straight edge against the fence. Here we go. The groove is showing, so I can use my hands and still keep my hands 6 inches from the blade. Turn it on. And we push it till it drops. Take care of my scrap, and then the next person is ready to go. Okay, so that's a quick little lesson on the table saw and how we use it to cut our boards. A board that is wider than 4 inches, if we have to make a panel out of several boards, we would have to joint them over on the joiner so we can glue them together and have a strong joint. But we don't want boards that are this wide glued to other boards that are that wide, because they'll warp, and they warp in the direction of the grain. Okay, so what we do to counter that is we would rip this board and we would flip half of it, so the end grain works against itself. Every 4 inches we would make a cut. One end grain is up or down, and the other one's the opposite, so that works against each other to keep your panel straight. I'll show you more about that when we do our gluing. All right, so that's a quick little demo on the table saw. You guys will have a table saw quiz to do. All right, the next machine I'm going to show you, oh, I got a printer in here. Didn't see that earlier. They dropped it off yesterday, is the joiner. Okay, from there we're ready to make panels. Okay, glue up parts and make panels. All right, I'll see you next time.